Professional chefs of Reddit, what mistakes do us amateur cooks make, and what's the easiest way to avoid them? Not a chef, but many of my friends are. Knives are what they drilled into my head. You don't need a drawer full of different kitchen knives, or one of those stupid giant knife sets. Spend at least $75 on one good kitchen knife. Buy it at a store where you can try different knives and find a blade and handle you like. Don't put it in the dishwasher and don't rub it with a scour pad. That will dull the blade. Also get a sharpening tool and or take the blade in to get sharpened when it feels dull. Also, get a protective sleeve for it. Don't know how you're still alive with all those knives drilled into your head, but thanks for the tips. Don't overcrowd the pan. This stove pan sucks. I can't get a good sear on all 5 of these steaks at once. Not a professional chef, but if you've put enough salt in your dish and feel that putting any more would overseason it, but you still feel it's lacking in taste, add some sort of acid, lemon juice zest, lime juice zest, balsamic red wine vinegar, apple cider vinegar. You'll be surprised at how much this lifts the dish. When I was getting interested in cooking, I would skip the acid completely because I honestly couldn't be bothered. I would always chuckle and joke at how much lemon lime vinegar chefs like Gordon Ramsay and Alton Brown put in their cooking. Then I tried it once. Now, every dish I make has some sort of acidity in it because it's just not the same without. 1. Taste as you cook. Continually adjust seasoning, salt level, as needed. Acidity is also a very overlooked aspect of seasoning. Tons of dishes light up with a little lemon juice or vinegar. 2. Clean as you cook. Most dishes have some downtime while cooking them. Use that time to clean up the mess you made. 3. Plan your meal ahead of time. Know when you're going to be busy doing things and when you have time. Prep ingredients ahead of time as needed. Newbies in the kitchen should do all the ingredient cleaning and chopping before they start cooking. 4. If you don't have a good feel for how done meat should be, use a thermometer. Ignore any recipe that gives precise cooking times, because they're rarely going to be correct. 5. Speed is a byproduct of accuracy. This isn't flair bartending. You don't get bonus points for smashing things around like Jamie Oliver on his stupid TV shows. Gordon Ramsay got that fast by practicing doing things correctly, not by rushing and fricking it up. Focus on dicing the onion properly and evenly, not on doing it fast. The speed will come on its own. 2. Clean as you cook. Most dishes have some downtime while cooking them. Use that time to clean up the mess you made. Cooking has been way more fun since I started doing this. No huge pile of crap to deal with after dinner. Too much or too little salt. Salt is one of the most magical ingredient known to mankind. It can make all the ingredients of the dish shine like stars. It can also frick up all your hard work by overpowering the other ingredients. Cooking, like every other thing in the world, is about balance. It is the art of balancing flavors that complement each other. I'm pretty horrified at all the people not using salt when they cook and having no idea of the importance of properly seasoned food. Confirms why I hate potlucks and why you can't eat everyone's food. Pastry cook here. On the sweet side of things, my biggest piece of advice is to follow the recipe exactly if you don't know exactly what you're doing. Baking is basically science, and if you don't calculate substitutions right, it's never going to come out right. Also make sure you have good ingredients. That box of baking soda from 5 years ago is not going to work that well anymore. Seconding this, it also helps for novices if you want to get serious about it, that you should get a scale and start weighing your ingredients. It makes it easier to get consistent results, and lets you use more complex recipes. Another thing is to look up and learn what a baker's formula is, as it makes it easy to scale recipes larger or smaller. The most dangerous piece of equipment in a kitchen is a dull knife. According to Gordon Ramsay, amateur chefs always try to use that goddamn fricking black truffle oil, which is never to be used by anyone with self-respect. For real, actual amateurs, I'd say 3 things. 1. Your stove has temperatures other than on and off. Most people who just start out turn their burner on high and start throwing things in. That's okay for boiling water, but learn what works best with other things and get acquainted with your equipment. Different range tops and cookware cook fairly differently. 2. Start with salt and pepper and get those right first. Seasonings make or break your food, but if you're just throwing crap in because it sounds good, you're gonna have a bad time. Also, Keep in mind that you can pretty much always add more later, but you can almost never take it back out. 3. Don't be afraid to screw up, and beware too much advice. Everyone has an opinion when it comes to cooking, both on how to do it and what it should come out like. Learn to make food you really enjoy eating first, and then you can branch out into tweaking it to please guests. You can pretty much always add more later, but you can almost never take it back out. Truer words never spoken. My pro chef and former chemist friend gave me an earful for putting my tomatoes in the fridge. He explained how the cold temp changes the chemical composition and makes them taste shittier. I no longer put my tomatoes in the fridge and they are tastier. It also makes them decompose faster. Another tip with tomatoes: if they come on a vine, keep it on. They'll keep maturing and become tastier. Hello, I am the chef at a 5-diamond hotel in San Francisco. The biggest thing to learn when just starting to cook is mise en place. Everything in its place. This is ultimately to get food timings correct and precise, and for safety and control reasons. The second biggest thing to learn in the kitchen is safety. I once had a cook with 25 years experience get complacent and splashed hot oil on his face. Now we call him Twaface. Cooking is a creative release when done outside of a professional kitchen, so take your time and don't hurt yourself. The third biggest thing to learn, and I tell all my cooks this every day, is taste, season, taste. Taste your food, season it, and taste it again. Most people, whether they believe it or not, have the same taste thresholds. So what tastes good for you will taste good for someone else. Last thing I can add if you want to improve your cooking is to cook more. Cook every day, because practice makes perfect. Eat everywhere and anything. In my experience, you can get better at everything by practicing correctly, actually giving it a good try. But man, sometimes people are just not good cooks. You can always follow a recipe perfectly and it should come out fine. But in terms of creating a new dish, it really is an art form that some have a knack for and some don't. To quote Ratatouille, everyone can cook, but not everyone should cook. I certainly wouldn't consider myself artistic as a cook. I can follow directions and add or subtract as I see fit, and it will generally come out pretty good. But I'm not a creator. My favorite joke is to say I'm not a cook. I'm a make. I make spaghetti. I make chicken. I make the call to Pizza Hut. When making something that reduces the salt to taste before reduction. When it reduces it becomes way too salty. Working in a restaurant, the new guys that try to cook stuff on their own do it all the time. Mise en place. You will hear this term in every professional kitchen. It means roughly things in place. Get everything ready before starting to cook. Have all ingredients prepped. Tools handy. Knives, cutting boards, spoons, whisk, etc. Ovens heated and pans ready to go. Work organized and orderly. This will come along with practice. It goes a long way and takes a lot of stress out of cooking. Boil your steaks at least 15 minutes before microwaving them. Found the Applebee's cook. Pressing burgers to make them cook faster. Don't you ever do that again. Also, sharpen your knives. It makes them safer and way less frustrating to use. Seriously though, don't you ever press that freaking burger again, you bastard. Using too much water when making top ramen. Sauce, single male. Peel and finely slice the water first. That way you don't have to add all of it and can adjust for too little much later in the cooking process. I know one mistake I used to make was to buy canned mushrooms and use those for recipes. The first time I used fresh mushrooms for something, I realized the dreadful error of my ways, and I haven't bought canned mushrooms since. Always use fresh mushrooms, people. Another is prepared garlic. Once you use fresh garlic, there's no going back. Working in filthy or messy areas. It is amazing how much better your concentration is when you cook without clutter and mess. Clear bench equals clear mind. Slow the frick down. Just because you saw Gordon Ramsay chopping crap at 1,000 miles a minute on a YouTube video doesn't mean that you can do that. Cut first, go slow, and speed will get there. Unless you're cooking eggs, don't use a non-stick skillet. Season the goddamn pan properly and use it how you like. Don't be afraid of the microwave. Those cooking shows only show the highlights of cooking. Think of the Food Network as the Facebook of cooking. You don't see the bad crap that happens, only the highlights. Underseason your food. taste it, then listen to what you think tastes good, then retest it again. There's a reason there aren't salt and pepper shakers on higher end restaurants. The plate put on your table is what it should taste like. Again, slow the frick down. It's not a race. If you put time and effort into your food, it will reflect that on plating. You should probably mention what seasoning the pan is. Most people will think you're literally throwing salt or whatever into a pan. Pastry chef here. Don't be intimidated by baking. People will go on and on about how it's a science, and it is, but you really only need the science when troubleshooting a recipe gone bad or writing your own. The biggest thing that will help aspiring bakers are solid formulas and knowledge of basic techniques. Creaming method, foaming, chiffon, mousse. Once you know the basics, creaming method is the most common. Everything because so much easier. For formulas I suggest the King Arthur Flour website. Really solid, well tested recipes. A tangent that has nothing to do with people who actually do cook. I have no patience for those who say, oh, I can't cook, can't even fry an egg. Read a dang cookbook. It's not that complicated. If you can read, you can cook. If you're not doing that, then you're simply lazy. Watch Good Eats with Alton Brown. Learning a little technique and the science behind it will take you a long way. You found the leaf of life. Subscribe and it will bring you immortality. Well, maybe. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check out another video. Or don't. Either way, have a great day, you magnificent people.